Imagine if Dan Campbell, for some reason, just up and went and became the Bears head coach this offseason. What would they be saying? The Bears are winning the NFC North. They just got Dan Campbell. Right? Well, the Lions still have Dan Campbell.
Well, see, I could believe in that more, that if you brought a coach that has been coaching for 4 years in the league straight, not as an interim, but as a winning coach, that if he were to go to a new team and seeing what he did with the Lions quickly, I would believe in that. I would say that, yep, he could turn around the Bears immediately and they could be winners in year one. Maybe not Super Bowl, but they could be playoff bound and potentially winning a playoff game or two just with Dan Campbell. I'm glad that you just brought that up. So sidebar here for a moment. Eric, what happens when Dan Campbell leaves the Lions? Do you think that Dan Campbell's going to leave the Lions in the next 5 years?
No. I think he sticks around and becomes the longest tenured head coach in Lions history and sets records that no other coach is going to ever come near.
Do you think that Dan could take 2 teams to a Super Bowl in 10 years?
Yeah, it's possible. He is a master at putting together a staff. He's already shown that. And if he can do it this year with this brand new staff, once again, with a brand new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and a bunch of other coaches, because everybody got poached, if he can do it with all this brand new set of people, then that just shows he's a master at building a coaching staff.
Riley, what do you think, man? 1, do you think that he goes home to Dallas at some point? And 2, do you think that he can lead 2 teams to a Super Bowl in less than 10 seasons of becoming a head coach for the first time ever? Because really, becoming the head coach of the Lions was his first real gig. I'm not going to count interim head coaching positions, but his first real gig as a head coach was with the Lions. Do you think he can do it with 2 teams?
Yeah, so the thing that comes to mind for me, nothing good lasts forever, right? We know that's true. It's hard to see a guy stay in one spot for so long, and that's when you ask that question. If they win a Super Bowl, it could do one of 2 things. It could make him want to stay for the long haul, or like you said, change things up. Because if you've won it in Detroit, the only way you can go from there is down, right? And you just imagine the mojo he would carry into a new locker room, because now it's not the funny, quirky, biting kneecaps off. If he becomes a head coach of a different team at some point, and if it is Dallas, the respect he commands the moment he walks into that room is going to be off the charts. Like it would be as good as anybody could possibly have. I feel like. So yeah, I think he would go, and of course he would look at a situation and say, what's the roster? What's my chances to win here? But yeah, I think if it were, someplace like Dallas, I wouldn't be surprised to see him have success.
We're talking about the Cowboys. I see Dan going home in less than 10 years. I see him going to Dallas. When Jones is out of the picture, I see him going home. We see it happen too often with players. They want to go home. I'm thinking that Dan's going to want to turn around the Cowboys too. So it's Mystery Monday, and who knows what the heck we're going to talk about today, but you can already tell that talking about Dan Campbell is going to ruffle a lot of feathers this morning. And just thinking about, we haven't won anything yet, and already considering the fact that Dan Campbell could be with another team in the next few seasons. I don't want to think about that, but we have to think about the possibility of it happening. And to have these conversations, I'd like for you to do me a huge favor right now. Step out of the chat, smash that like button for us, and then hit the subscribe button, toggle on notifications. That way you know that when we're going live and when a new video pops, that you'll get notified. Appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you for being part of the Rock Down Detroit Lions family here. Will Dan Campbell go to another team in the next 10 seasons? Which team do you think that is going to be? Let us know in the comments below. And do you think that he can take 2 teams to a Super Bowl? I think he can. I think he can, but we've got to get that one first. Riley?